Bangladesh Interim Chief Muhammad Yunus has called a high-level meeting in Dhaka today afternoon to review the law and order situation following the death of Osman and the violence that has spread across the country. Now, Brian, take us through the details that are coming in.
Well, clearly the interim chief that is governed by Muhammad Yunus also clearly stated that he will be taking a high-level meeting today, and he will be calling on the leaders to talk about the unrest that has been following after the death itself that happened. It's not only that he also declared that the interim administration rather declared that there would be a state of mourning in honor of the Hadi in honor of Hadi, with the national flags to be flown at half-mast and special prayers planned across the country, and clearly stated that a high-level meeting will happen because of the fact that in 2 months now there would be the national elections that is scheduled for February 12th, and again ahead of that itself, prior to that there has been many such unrest that has been happening with many gaslighters, tear gas being fired as protesters are attacking many such areas. You talk about Chattogram, you talk about or other places in Dhaka itself. So clearly, the interim government, the interim chief has also stated that Hadi's death and assured a transparency investigation would be conducted, and all those who are responsible again would be brought to justice. And again, warned that continuing violence could undermine the country's path towards credible elections.
All right, Brian, stay on with me. We have more updates coming in. Now, journalists from Prothom and the Daily Star have accused police of failing to act as the offices were attacked. Staff members said that the officers were present but, quote, stood by and watched, unquote, as parts of the buildings were vandalized and set on fire. Law enforcement officials said that they were preparing to bring the situation under control. So, Brian, we have now seen several allegations and the blame game that journalists are saying that the staff members said that the officers were present, but they stood by and they watched instead of reacting to the situation. So, what exactly are you getting to know in terms of this?
Clearly, the journalist from Prothom and Daily Star stated that after the protesters poured into their offices, the journalists initially trapped inside, but the slogan hearing was going on. They were trapped. There were 25 of the journalists who was trapped inside. They clearly stated that the violence also that was happening. The police were there, but they did not. They were just watching it, and they were doing nothing about it. But it was the firefighters who said and who saw and who decided to act upon it. And clearly, this has been stated that the police were reportedly they were seeing and they were just looking at it, doing nothing about it while they were trapped inside and the protesters storming inside their offices itself. But again, they said that the firefighters reached the spot and they got them outside it while the police remained there and remained standing there doing nothing about it. Not only that, they clearly reported they were not immediately also taken out after the fire was doused up because there were protesters mobbed inside the very premises itself. So it was difficult for them to let them out. The journalists were trapped inside. So clearly they were at the roof waiting to be rescued, trapped inside, and then post that after 4 to 5 hours, they were finally they got out from those respective buildings. Yes.
All right, now joining me on the telecast is Gautam Mukherjee, senior journalist, joining me on the telecast. Gautam Mukherjee, obviously you also have seen several developments that are coming in from Bangladesh, these protests that are happening. We've earlier seen the Indian High Commission receive several threats as well. What do you think about these developments that are coming in, especially this is ahead of the election that is set to take place next year, and we know for the fact that these situations, these instability that we see in Bangladesh, it is something that has been going on since last August.
Yes, they have eliminated the Awami League from, the political discourse, and I think they're hitting back now.
And Gautam Mukherjee, another question to you is the fact, who do you think is benefiting from all of these instability in Bangladesh? We see a several level of anti-India sentiment on the ground as well.
Yes, well, that is the present dispensation. It's trying to unify the country by showing anti-India bias. But it's not working out all that well because their economic situation is going from bad to worse, and their attempts to get together with China and Pakistan have not really borne any fruit up to now. So the Awami League, which is Hasina's party, is trying to make a comeback, and if that happens, of course, the Awami League is well inclined towards India.
And Gautam Mukherjee, what do you think in terms of the relations between India and Bangladesh? In terms of these developments, what are the strategic challenges that are being posed, especially in the current scenario?
Well, India is being very careful. Militarily, it is preparing for a two-front war, both with Pakistan and with Bangladesh, particularly around the chicken neck. But diplomatically, we are being very patient because we don't want to aggravate the situation.
All right, Gautam Mukherjee, thank you so much for your inputs on that story. But meanwhile, we have more news coming in. Now, BNP Acting Chief Tariq Rahman has expressed deep sorrow over the